Today on Green Country People and Places.
I'm up on the tight wire.
Now this is a special room.
This is our Leon Russell room.
It's a circus game with you and me. Follow the creaking Gourd.
We are at Gourd's Etc. Art Studio. I am Cherokee artist.
Follow the creaking Gourd.
Well, we are at Tulsa Stained Glass Company, established 1975.
Oklahoma's green country. It's full of unique places and interesting people.
This is a great place to come if you're a Leon nut.
I feel like I should have pointy ears looking through this. So come along with us. This thing's huge. And enjoy the ride.
Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Lonely Street. That's a Heartbreak Hotel.
It was built as a hotel in 1927. It was the Casa Loma Hotel. It's on the National Historic Register as the Casa Loma Hotel. First floor was retail, mercantile space where they leased it out. We have lists of all the people that were here through about 1960, which included Safeway, TGMY, Ben Franklin's, all the different ones that most people recognize the name, but they're all gone.
So lonely, baby, I could die.
When you drive up on the outside of this building, you don't expect it to be this luxurious inside. You think this is an industrial type of warehouse or something. It's kind of a neat look.
Well, it's kind of plain on the outside. There's not a lot we can do. We're on the Historic Register, so we can't change much of the look on the outside. We've put it back as best we can to what it looked like in 1927. You just kind of have to imagine that the trolley is out front and everything is the way it was back then.
What's your mission statement behind the hotel? What do you want to provide?
We're trying to provide more of an upscale boutique hotel that's reasonably priced where most anybody can stay here. We've tied it to a spa, to a lounge, to event centers, to even a restaurant now. We just opened a restaurant about 8 weeks ago.
And tell me about the designer showcase. How did that change things for you?
Designer showcase. When we bought the building, when I purchased the building originally in '09, the end of '09, the intent was to make loft apartments out of the upstairs and still keep the retail below. And then the more we talked about it and went through it, it was decided, well, we could fix it, put it back into a hotel. So we had already gotten permits, we had already made application, everything was a go, and we were approached by a couple of our friends that are designers. They said, hey, would you consider? And that fatal yes cost a fortune, but we got into Designer Showcase. Quite honestly, the designers that we have in Tulsa do a great job, and we got a product that's way better than what we could have done on our own. So it was well worth it.
Oh, there's no place like home, and it's lonesome in this little hotel room.
Now the lobby is great. You tried to keep this period, like this chandelier up here, right?
Well, the chandeliers, we bought those from a place in California. We found them on the internet, just like the sign outside. It's actually an antique neon sign that we had redone. The metal ceiling, it didn't really have a metal ceiling in it before. It had a plaster ceiling. This metal ceiling is the original metal ceiling out of the Safeway, which is the single-story part on the other end. So we've just kind of relocated it to keep it all together.
So have you got some rooms that we could see?
Yeah, we've got some we can get into.
Okay. This is really beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow, this is the second floor.
This is the hotel. This is what you would have originally seen in 1927. The walls are in the same place, nothing's been moved.
This is like a hidden gem. This is amazing. That you wouldn't expect this from the outside at all.
No, it's quite different.
And you kept the period look, obviously.
This is a Spanish Revival look on the inside.
Well, this is impressive. What's this room?
This is our small conference room.
Small?
Seats about 20. The walls are all original. They repurposed the walls as just had an artist come in and put it back the way it was in 1927. The fireplace has been changed. The new travertine fireplace is all new, but these tables are the original library tables out of McFarland Library at the University of Tulsa. We bought these from them and repurposed them.
I think I spent a few hours studying at one of these tables.
You may remember these.
Yeah, there's some gum under right about here.
We pulled a lot of gum off.
If your own baby leaves you, got a tale to tell. Just take a walk down Lonely Street to a heartbreak hotel. I've been so lonely, babe.
There's a lot of mirrors in here. Let me guess, a honeymoon suite?
This is the honeymoon suite. This is the Renaissance room. The mirrors are for all the bridesmaids that want to come up and get ready with the bride so that they have a place to get their hair done.
That's it. Okay.
I know where you were thinking.
This bed is incredible.
This is really an incredible room. They really outdid themselves on this room, the designers. They had a competition to find out who would do this room, and that was part of what Designer Showcase is about, is to promote the designers.
I'm just, the fabric, everything, the pillows, I'm a guy, but I even understand that this is pretty cool.
You understand that your woman would like this.
Yes. And I mean, there's even, a chandelier up above the bed. But tell me about the bathroom.
Well, this is all onyx on the floor, and the sink is made of onyx. The metal brackets that actually hold the sink up, those are from the building next door. We bought the old Wyman Iron building.
Oh, yeah.
So those are some things that they left behind, and we just repurposed them.
It's very, boy, I'm running out of adjectives for this. This is just really cool.
Well, of course, it has a jetted tub, two-person tub. The shower is also two heads, two controllers.
Well, that's it. The walls are like jewelry. I mean, the onyx is really neat, and the fact that you've lit it the way you have, and all the accessories in here, this is really, really nice. I can imagine it'd be fun to just go in here and take a shower.
I don't know. I've never done that, but...
You own the place.
I've never stayed here.
You can't have to fix that. This is an interesting theme in this room. It's dark.
This is our lunar eclipse room. It was intended to be dark. The designer actually painted it black like this. This is also our ADA room, the Americans for Disabilities Act. This room is set up to where it's totally accessible for a wheelchair, anybody that has a disability.
Oh, and it's subtle too. I noticed there's just a little bit more room, so you can take a wheelchair through and not run into anything. And then over here you actually have a desk area, sink area, where you can get a wheelchair up to it.
A desk and vanity with a sink so that you don't have to go to the bathroom to get water for coffee or something. Each room has a Keurig coffee maker, small microwave, mini fridge. They're all part of the theme.
Yeah, I could get comfortable here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
My wife would love this room, horsies.
Yeah, this is our equestrian suite because we're so close to the Tulsa Fairgrounds that, and this is what our suites look like. This is actually a hide-a-bed. So you actually have two beds in this room, and it has a connecting room. You have a side saddle room that goes with it. That's you could actually have 3 rooms, 2 bathrooms, all under one group of people.
You're in a small house.
You're in a small house.
I'm up on a tight wire. One side's ice and one is fire.
Now this is a special room.
This is our Leon Russell room, another themed room.
There's a lot of theme to it too. I like that.
This one has quite a bit of stuff from Leon.
That's an interesting painting of him up there.
That painting, we understand, we bought it from the designer, and she had someone at TU put that together.
And then when you look at the bed, it's got pillows that say I've been so many places in my life and time.
Part of his music brought forward in a pillow. The headboard, of course, is the top of a grand piano.
It's a real grand piano top?
That's what we understand.
And do I see up here there's a signature?
That's Leon's signature. We waited a couple of years and got him in town, and some of our people took that down there and had him sign it when he was at the Brady Theater.
That's special. And then you also have some memorabilia.
We have quite a bit of framed memorabilia that he has signed through different times. over the years.
If you're a Leon nut, this is a great room.
This is a great place to come if you're a Leon nut. Up on a high wire.
I like it. Nice touch. It's really hard to do justice to this place because you have so many different themed rooms, and so you have some that are university based.
We have some that are University of Tulsa based. We have an OSU room, and some of our rooms are all different themes.
You even have an S.E. Hinton room, right?
We have an S.E. Hinton room. We just made one for S.E. Hinton. We just keep theming them around and see how we come up.
So theoretically, how many rooms do you have?
There's a total of 26.
So you could probably visit here 26 times and get a different bit of Tulsa, a different bit of history every time you come here.
That's right. And hopefully, if those change, more than 26 times. So.
Good business plan.
Okay.
We are at Gourd's, etc. Art Studio. I am Cherokee artist, and everything here is Native related. It's Cherokee related somehow or another. My husband raises all of the gourds that I use in my gourd art. However, I do work with other mediums as well, but the gourd art is my primary subject. So.
Were you always an artist growing up, or is this something new?
No, I've probably been doing this for about 20 years. I've been telling 18 years for a long time now, but probably getting closer to 20. When I was younger, things that I made, I thought I was just making do, but I guess now looking back, it was probably kind of artsy in a sense, but I thought I was just making do.
Now I'm looking down here, and obviously these are gourds, but man, what a variety you got here.
It's a huge variety, and there's actually hundreds of varieties, but these are just those that have been grown here in our gourd garden.
I mean, these are really cool, and they're light.
Yeah, when they're dry, they are, but when they're green or when they're still on the vines and they're green in color, they're really, really heavy.
Is there anything in them you can eat?
No, it would probably make you terribly sick.
Then who came up with the idea of a gourd?
I don't know. I don't know if they were considered a trade item, if some were actually native, to our area, what have you. They could have possibly been brought over on ships, what have you, many, many years ago. But the varieties, they've been kind of intermarried, and different varieties come from it. But the inside is going to remind you like of a watermelon. It's got the membrane and the seeds, and it's wet and slushy.
Okay.
And so what you do is you have to let it dry. You're almost a year behind. What you harvest this fall, you won't get to use until months later. You have to wait till, if you can shake it, or if it's real lightweight like that.
Oh, neat.
The seed. Yeah. Well, then it's ready to use.
Left-foot, pig-foot, traveling on, follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow.
So this is a neat trellis you got right here. This is for the long, skinny gourd?
The long-handled dipper gourd, yes.
And how many of these do you get a year off this?
Oh, it can go from 100, 125, 75.
Of these?
Yes.
In there?
It will look like a Christmas tree, like ornaments. They're just these. You can see the handle.
Yeah.
Some of them got so long
they touched the ground.
Touched the ground, and the handles got crooked because there was so much weight. They didn't have any place to go.
That was really neat.
You can tell this is the end of the thing, and it would have been attached there.
Now, one thing I was really surprised with was this big old boy.
Oh gosh, isn't he huge?
It is gigantic. It weighs what, 4 pounds? I mean, that's so wild.
It's amazing,
Yeah, and it came off of what these are going to produce. I mean, these are going to
This is a different type, but this was grown here.
Okay.
This is an African bushel variety, and we had one that was actually 79 inches around its belly.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What'd you do with it?
Turned it into a gourd. A drum.
Oh, okay.
Into a drum.
Well, and speaking of turn it into, why don't we go inside and see some of the work you made?
Yeah.
I might take this home.
Okay, and this is the gallery.
Oh, I love this.
Well, thank you.
Now, behind us, we have a lot of gourds, and I can see already the dipper one right here, right?
That's what is out on the trellis outside, various lengths. That is just the short handle dipper gourd.
So you're painting and you're hollowing and you're wrapping leather and you're using all sorts of materials, right?
Yes, I use only glass beads, never ever use anything plastic on them, and I try to incorporate something Cherokee, something that pertains to the Cherokee in every piece.
Well, and speaking of Cherokee, is that the alphabet?
That is the syllabary.
Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man's waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd.
That's an amazing drum, and you made it out of big gourd, right?
Yes, yes. I've wood burnt. There are 7 turtles wood burnt around the whole gourd, and the 7 turtles represent the 7 clans of the Cherokee Nation.
You're also multifaceted. You do jewelry too.
Yes, I do. I started out with the gourds, and then added jewelry and paintings, and it's just, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I just one thing to another.
Not gourd. So you're also throwing clay.
Now, I have just begun playing with the clay the last few months, and I'm loving it. It's one more thing that I've thrown in there.
Hello. Luke, my son. This is cool. This is what the inside looks like?
Yes,
That's darn ugly.
It is, and it's real dusty, and it's not healthy to breathe, so you have to...
I shouldn't have inhaled just then, huh?
Oh, well, no.
There's seeds in there too.
Yes, the big drums that we saw in there,
Yeah.
some of those seeds will be huge, really huge.
So this is your workspace, and you've got some cut and hollowed out and everything right now?
Yes, I've got body parts laying everywhere. Sometimes the inside will suck up really close to the edge, and it looks like styrofoam.
Then you have to peel that out?
You have to clean it all out. I have this spoon. It's very special.
Very technical
It's a very technical tool, but that's what I use to clean the inside. I've got a little brush that I use, and sometimes they come out this clean. Sometimes there's nothing that's stuck to them. It just comes out in a mass. But when I'm these are body parts here. This would be like a nose.
Oh, okay, so you save the stems for a lot of purposes.
Yes, oh yeah, everything. But I will take like an X-Acto knife, and this is how you would cut.
Is it easy to cut with a knife?
No.
No?
This one, I picked this one just for today because it is a good, it's a good thin one. This is one that I have used rather than the hand stitching. I have embedded the body parts.
I see.
And see, the ears are gourd, the nose is also. And then I've got fur that I will eventually put on for his hair.
I could use that. Verna, I gotta tell you, thank you so much for having us come by, because this is fascinating.
Oh, I've enjoyed it.
I've never met a gourd lady before.
I get called that a lot.
Follow the drinking gourd. There's another river on the other side. Follow the drinking
Well, we are at Tulsa Stained Glass Company, established 1975. All this began in my living room with my wife and my sister, and with a little passion and inspiration and will to succeed, we've turned it into this nearly 40-year business that we love dearly and enjoy every minute of. Well, most every minute of. There are some times when you don't, but we're still having fun at it.
Finger painting in a stained glass studio. What's this all about?
That is the beauty of what we're doing in our short-term 3-hour classes. This is, people come to us with wanting to learn about stained glass, but they forget about all the creative process.
Yeah, you just don't put glass together. You have to come up with an idea.
You gotta come up with an idea.
Well, when you do something as simple as this, how do you prove to them that that can become a piece of stained glass?
They come in, they do their work, and then we also do a group project and finger painting.
Okay.
And then after the 3 hours, after I go through my lecture and all the process of how to do it, they understand it a little bit better. And then I the understanding is about outlining each color.
So this is a
black.
finger paint that the student did.
This is a finger painting.
And then you did the black outline.
I did the black outline.
So you're teaching them how to, then you have to figure out shape.
And then shapes, right. And then there's a little bit of creativity that goes along with it. But it's more about just playing. I don't want them to be serious about this at all, because I want to get those ideas out.
This is one of your students, Josh, and he did play, right? But
right.
The play had a phenomenal result right here.
It does. Actually, it's beyond play because he is the winner of Art Smart Challenge, an art contest. Okay. And as being part of the winner, we produced this and replicated into a stained glass design. So this is his idea replicated in stained glass.
That's phenomenal because in stained glass it seems to refine it and really pop it out. That is really great.
Yeah. So we really want adults doing stained glass, but kids can design it. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And when they start to do that, they become designers of airplanes and cars and everything else, But you have to give them that freedom to do that. And they have to have that, and they can't let anybody shut them down. And here's another example. This lady was one of our winners. She's a creativity coach, and the theme of the contest is what's important to you. Okay, and that's what they're supposed to be drawing, and so they get that internal feeling. And so this is what her stained glass window turned out to be.
I'm impressed how it transfers over.
Yes,
it's really neat.
And that's the beauty of this. This started at Ronald McDonald House, where we had to transfer kids' drawings into art, and there's 2 windows out there now. Mm-hmm. And that was that concept. But the whole process was so great because my students that got to build the window learned something. We learned more about design, and it's ideas. It doesn't have to be stained glass. It can be a quilt. It can go into any other different types of crafts.
So obviously this isn't a student project. This is part of your commercial area where you do repairs and new stuff, right?
Right. Absolutely. A big part of what we're doing is the restorations of stained glass windows. This happens to be a window from a house in Stillwater. It's on the historical records as being a historical house. And what happened here is this window has such a large center, it was starting to destroy itself just by the weight.
Now this room is a beautiful mess.
It is, but that's what creativity is all about. You don't have to worry about keeping it clean. We've got floors, we got all kinds of things. But this is the Art Play Center. We do ceramic painting, so anybody can come in here anytime that we're open, paint something, and take it home that day.
Really?
Or if they want to do something, they can paint it with glaze and then fire it and then do that.
So they can make their own little quick project. It's not stained glass, but it gets the creativity going and they start understanding art and form and shape.
Exactly. And so ceramics is one part of that, but we also do painting. So we have an artist that comes in and she can has painting classes. A lot of people call it a paint and sip, but the only thing that we sip is coffee, okay?
Now this is the high-end stuff right here, right? What is this collection about?
This is a collection of old stained glass windows. Most of it is from England as far as what we can tell. It's not signed or dated or anything, but it's highly painted and fired. Now, stained glass has got such a history behind it of artists and people doing different things. This work here tells a story, where a lot of the stained glass today is just about being pretty and beautiful and architectural and enhancing the environment. Here, religious work has an agenda to tell a story. And that is the cool part about this. And in telling stories, you have to be more detailed, more symbolic.
So
And
this is kind of like the final, ultimate statement. In
This
other
is
words,
the
this
ultimate
is the highest art of stained glass.
Exactly, exactly. And this is work is, like I said, painted and fired. This is the same process, and we do in a restoration work where it's the same type of work as what's done in Europe for centuries, since the Middle Ages, okay? Same technique, same everything.
So how does that make
Except we just use electricity today. You know,
So how's it make you feel then to continue something that's been going on for centuries?
It's a good feeling. Again, it carries it forward. The craft is going forward, but most of all, again, I go back to I love getting people interested and idea oriented, and so they can start creating their own ideas. The more they learn, the more that they can do. You know, all of these people, any artist, the great artist, you know, they didn't start drawing beautiful work. They had to work at it, they had to study it, they had to perfect it. And that's what makes life interesting, the joy of learning.